All right, everybody. I know I didn't say that I was going to come on, and it's school vacation week. What am I doing here? That is a good, amazing question. I had a last minute cancellation, so I decided to pop on and say hello to all of you. I haven't gone live in an age, and my office is a hot mess because we're getting ready to remodel it so that I'll have a prettier background to go live more often. But in the meantime, here I am in my messy office, messy me, on school vacation week because I wanted to talk to you about adding some canine enrichment into your dog's life in general, but especially this week because it's school vacation week. So I don't know a whole bunch of people who spend school vacation week sitting at home 24 hours a day. You're going out, you're doing things, you're enjoying the fact that it is a school vacation with your kids. So, what are you doing with your pup? Now, some of you had the wonderful forethought to book walks or days of daycare here with me. And kudos to you. We booked up super quick this year, though we do have a couple of openings for daycare. I'm going to pitch that before I forget. We had some cancellations today. So if you are looking for doggy daycare, we have an opening for tomorrow, Tuesday, the 18th, and we have an opening Friday, April the 21st. Literally one opening, one spot for both of those days. Shockingly, there's no one on the wait list for those days. So if you want them, let us know. Book them online right now as soon as you see this, because chances are they will already be gone. But obviously tomorrow will be gone by this time tomorrow, but Friday may be gone by this time tomorrow as well. So get your requests in if you want to take care this week. Tuesday, April 18th, Friday, April 21st. Anyway, back to what we're talking about. So while we're out and about enjoying our lives, whether it's this week for school vacation week or in general for work, play, whatever, travel, there's all sorts of reasons why you might be away from your pup. One of the things that I really encourage people to do is to get into the habit of integrating enrichment into your dog's life. So, what is canine enrichment? Good question. It is mental stimulation to enhance a dog's life and well-being. It goes beyond providing just food, water, shelter, and other basic needs. It's mental exercise that's just as important as physical exercise. If you've been around for a while, you've heard me say this before on Instagram, on here. I even did a whole live segment on this about exercise, and mental exercise was one of the things that I was talking about way back then, at least a year ago. But it's that important. We're bringing it up again. Why is it important? Well, there's many benefits to this. Mental stimulation gives your dog an outlet for their energy, which is super important for anybody who doesn't have a ton of time to dedicate to tiring out their puppy, or for people who are going to be busy on a given day, or if you just want to make sure your dog is extra tired and sleeps through the night. So it also increases their problem-solving skills, their positive social interactions, and their health and their welfare. It does this by activating different parts of their brain that don't get activated in a general, just hanging out on the couch kind of day. It can also help reduce boredom, hyperactivity, even helps with behavior problems, and a whole bunch more. If you have come to me for training advice at any point in your life, we have talked about enrichment. Almost guaranteed. Enrichment is one of those things that can help solve as many problems as you can think of. It might not be a magic wand to wave for everything, but it can help with pretty much everything. So, what exactly does this consist of? What can you do to provide enrichment in your dog's life? Well, let's break it down. The most common one that you'll hear people talk about are food puzzles or chews. So these are things that challenge your dog to get their food or their kibble treats, um, and engages their brain as opposed to just using a bowl. So there's a huge wide variety of commercial products available. All you have to do is type in treat toy into Chewy or food dispensing toy, and it'll come up with a ton of options that come in different shapes, different sizes, and different difficulties. I personally use these to feed my dogs. Wish gets a wobble toy. I want to say it's from Star Mark. Um, and basically, whenever she hits it, the wobble goes back and forth and little bits of kibble spray out. That's how she eats all of her meals. Because she's way too smart. She doesn't get enough exercise because I'm too busy exercising everybody else's dog. And she's also a little on the chonky side. So slowing her down her rate of consumption is going to help her out. Boomer, anybody who knows Boomer has been around here for a while. He has some brain damage, so super tricky puzzles aren't great for him. So instead of using a wobble, or Wish has a bunch of other treat dispensing toys, she has some balls, she has a puzzle, she has a bunch of different things, but the wobble is what we use most because it's the easiest for us to prepare. So if I'm rushing out in the morning to go and let some chickens out of their coop or to open the resort here, I can toss her food in her wobble and get her going that way. Boomer doesn't quite have that same problem solving skills, so he just gets his in a topple. I'm using all these old words, but a topple is a product from Westpaw that's similar to a Kong, but it's got a wider opening, so it's easier for him to eat. A little bit easier for him to get all the food out of, and he still struggles to get all of it out, and Wish comes in and cleans up the leftovers. There's also your typical chews, so bones, antlers, bully sticks, Nyla bones, rubber toys, Kongs, all those things that they can chew on. Westpaw, I've already mentioned them as a brand. They're amazing. I like using Westpaw toys a lot if I need a durable rubber type toy, because once your dog chews up the toy to the point where you don't feel comfortable letting them play with it, you put it in a box, ship it back to Westpaw, they chip it up, melt it down, and turn it into another toy for them to use in the future. So it's a nice way to recycle as opposed to many other dog toy brands. If they get to the point where you're not comfortable giving them to your dog anymore, you just have to toss them out. Westpaw takes them back, turns them into new toys. Win-win for everybody. There's also the DIY option for food puzzles. So you can do things like putting different food in different plastic containers that are easy to open. One of my favorite tricks is to take a 2-liter jug of soda, drill a hole in the side, put a dowel rod through it, hang that dowel rod up between 2 chairs, fill with kibble, and bam. They just have to hit that 2-liter bottle over and over and over again until the kibble comes out. You can also drill holes in the side and the bottom to make it easier if they're struggling to get it out just out of the neck. You can also use a muffin tin. Make that nice and easy. You got a muffin tin, put kibble in all of the little containers, hand them to them that way. Or you can make it more difficult by putting tennis balls over the different compartments of the muffin tin. You can also just take an old ratty towel or blanket, put kibble in that, roll it up into a tube. You can leave it that way, so they just have to unroll it, or you can tie it into a pretzel, so they have to untie it and then unroll it. Depends on how smart your dog is. You can also put them in PVC pipes or paper towel rolls, toilet paper rolls, any of those. Super easy to put kibble in and either keep the ends open, or you can close them up if it's something they can open up easily. One of my favorite ways to do this super quick and easy, and to be honest, I did it this morning because I was in such a hurry with school vacation week, is to just do a scatter feed. So I just, this morning, took Wish's food, her little scoop, and just tossed it all over the floor. So she had to sniff around, like check it out. Some of it got under furniture, so she had to figure out how to get underneath the table and get that. just as enriching for her, much less effort for me, and it works even better if you can do it outside. It was raining today, so I didn't want to toss her food outside for her to try and figure out. So she did it in the laundry entryway area. Other ways that you can come up with for different forms of enrichment that don't involve food, like if you have a dog like Wish, who is a little on the chonky side and you want to cut back, or you have a dog that has a sensitive stomach or has really restricted diet and their food just is kind of boring and there's not that many interesting treats out there for them. There's plenty of other ways to provide enrichment for them as well. One of those is games, playing fetch, find it, hide and seek, chase, creating obstacle courses for them. All of those are great ways to do it. Hide and seek is one of my favorite on days like today when it's pretty drizzly. Have everybody in the family go to different corners of the house and take turns calling your pup. They only get a reward when they go to the right person. If they go to the wrong person, you get like oh, too bad, not me. And they get to go and continue searching for the right person who called them. Helps tire them out, especially if you have multiple levels, so you can have them running up and down the stairs. Plus, it helps with their comprehension of the whole concept of recall, coming when called. It also helps with voice recognition. So if you have multiple people in your home, you want them to be able to recognize who is calling them based off of just their voice. So this can help with that as well. There's also a ton of toys that are enriching for dogs. Some that require you to help out, like a flirt pole or a rope toy, frisbee, or there are some that are easier for them to just deal with on their own, like a squeaky toy. One of my favorite things to do, and we offer it here as an add-on for our daycare and boarding services, is to create an enrichment bucket. What that is you put a bunch of toys and some ice in a bucket, fill with water, freeze it. We do it parfait style, so the base level is just a little bit of ice and water, then you have a layer of peanut butter, then let that freeze, then another layer of water, then maybe some wet food or put some treats in there, whatever it might be that you have to toss in there. There's no wrong way to make an enrichment bucket. They're all great. It's really hard to find a way to mess up an enrichment bucket. Just have fun with it. Some dogs prefer more chews, like a bully stick or an antler to be tossed in there. Some really just like getting their favorite ball out of the bottom. All sorts of different ways. Especially as we're getting into warmer weather, enrichment buckets are the way to go. Another way to keep them enriched is to work on your training. I know that probably sounds biased being a dog trainer, and yeah, maybe I am, but training is a great way to get your dog's brain going, get them nice and tired. Plus, positive side of this, you get a better behaved dog. So you can work on whatever you've already learned. Coming to classes is a great way to figure that out. Practicing different tricks, trying things like nose work, so hiding a specific scent and rewarding them when they find that specific scent. I like using peppermint with my dogs. That's what Boomer's favorite thing is to find, or peppermint. You can do just practicing sit and just making it more difficult, providing different distractions as opposed to practicing in just the living room. Move it to the kitchen while we're making dinner, or go outside into the front yard. Practice these different things on the walk you're already taking. All sorts of different ways to make life a little bit more enriching and get that training practice in at the same time. Then, if you're super motivated and you have time to spend with your dog sports are another great opportunity to provide enrichment for your dog. So things like agility, fly ball, tree ball, dock diving, all of those things are great ways for your dog to explore their different instincts. If you have dogs that really like to run and jump over things, agility or dog parkour are going to be really great options. If you have a dog that was bred to retrieve, fly ball, dock diving are also great options. If you've got a herding dog, tri ball is another great option. It's basically herding a giant rubber ball, giant inflatable ball. So lots of great things to do there. Other enrichment ideas that kind of don't fall into any of these categories: group walks, play dates, doggy daycare, like I mentioned, going to a new place with them, taking a different route on their walk, even if it's just the neighborhood, doing as if you always take the loop clockwise, go counterclockwise. Uh, Providing them a spot to dig. This is one of my favorites, is to give them like a little sandbox that you encourage them to dig in, because digging is a really natural behavior for dogs. You want to encourage that, but you also don't want them digging up your garden. So providing them their own little sandbox for them to dig in is really great. To get them starting using that, just bury some of their toys in that sand so that they have to dig out their toys and find them. Also provides them lots of enrichment in just the process of digging out those toys that first time, but it also teaches them that that's a cool, safe place to dig, and mom's not going to yell at you for digging up her flowers. Taking sniffing walks, or even just sniffing breaks on your walks, letting your dog take as much time as they want to sniff and explore a certain area using their nose. Their sense of smell is incredibly strong, and they learn so much from doing it. Plus, a lot of research has shown that when they get into that deep sniffing, it activates different pathways in their brain that allow them to process more information, allow them to take in more stimuli without getting overwhelmed, helps with anxiety, and a whole bunch of other things. You, Anytime you can take them to explore new sights or smells or sounds is going to help. There's a lot of great resources out there for leaving your dog home alone, just to provide different enrichment through either sight or sound. Things like dog TV are great. There's also a bunch of companies that make music specifically for dogs. The one that I use the most often is a company called iCalm. Their products for dogs are called Through a Dog's Ear. I'm also working on a Spotify playlist for animals to be left home alone with. If you want the link for that, say it in the comments and I will send it over to you so that you can have it. It's still a work in progress. I've been experimenting with some of the dogs and cats and such that I've been house sitting to see, and pet sitting for, to see how they like it. I've been experimenting on the cats that are staying here and boarding, and my new resident office mice. I also use it at home with my own pets to see how it works for them. So if you want the link for that, let me know in the comments and I'll send it over. I know I have been talking super fast, and part of that was because I wanted to get this all out before I lost my voice. You can kind of hear it starting to fry a little bit, because guess what? I have allergies. The last few days being so hot has turned all of my allergies to overdrive. I think I may also have a spring cold. Not entirely sure. Not COVID though, so we're good there. But still, don't sound that great. Voice isn't lasting that long, so I wanted to get this all out as quick as I could. Again, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. If you want those days for daycare, Tuesday or Friday, get those requests in now so that you can get them onto our schedule. And in the meantime, if you have any questions, concerns, anything like that, just go ahead and reach out, drop it down in the comments, send us a message. Whatever is your preferred way to communicate, we're happy to hear from you and happy to help. All right. Enjoy the rest of your school vacation. I'm going to go and walk a dog, shut up some chickens, and then walk another dog, because it's just that time of year. Anyway, have a good one, guys.